Hi, fearless adults and kids, if you're listening too. So, here are our division strategies. We have really focused on two, and I want to explain why we have chosen these two. The place value chart is a really great strategy for kids who are struggling with multiplication facts because division relies so heavily on knowing your multiplication facts. It can be really tedious if you don't know them. So, for those kids who are struggling with multiplication facts, the place value chart is basically a drawing method that makes it really clear for them. However, there are downsides to it. The place value chart can be very tedious. It can take quite a while, and the kids also need to be very clear and careful in their work because, especially with larger numbers like this one, 4,056, there are many more opportunities for them to make a mistake. Long division, anybody can do. However, I have noticed that the kids who are struggling with multiplication facts do tend to struggle a little more with long division. So I'm going to show you both. Now, I don't have much room for this place value chart. Usually I would take a whole piece of paper to do it. So I'm going to be squeezing today. We're going to start by making a chart. I'm going to draw a big old rectangle here, much as I have space for. You are going to see why this method can be very tedious. It can take quite a while, and you'll see why it's so easy to make a mistake. Well, we're starting out with our whole number, 4,056. So that means I'm going to need thousands, hundreds, tens, and ones in my place value chart. I do abbreviate everything. I try to make it as quick as possible. This one is not a fast strategy. I like to have those labels on top. All right, I'm going to start by drawing 4,056 into my place value chart, just using some place value discs. So there are 4 thousands, 0 hundreds, 5 tens, and 6 ones. I have 5 groups, that's my divisor. So I'm going to draw 5 lines to make 5 groups to distribute my place value discs into. All right, there is a puppy here, so if you hear heavy breathing, that is not me, that is a dog. Now I'm going to divide each of these one place value at a time. I have 4 place value discs in my thousands place. But when I'm dividing, I want to make sure that I'm distributing all of these discs evenly. I don't have enough in my thousands place for me to put them into 5 groups. So I'm going to have to take all of these and I'm going to move them next door to my hundreds because I know that those 4 thousands are equivalent to 40 hundreds. That'll give me plenty to distribute. But as you can see, this is going to take me a while. I'll see if I can edit this video to speed it through, but you are going to see I am drawing 40 place value discs. I do notice if the kids aren't drawing them neatly in rows like I am right now, that is where they get into a lot of trouble. All right, now that I have 40 hundreds instead, I have plenty to distribute. I want to make sure they're even, so I'm just going to distribute 5 at a time. There's 5, so let me distribute those 5 into a group, 1 each into a group. Then I'll go ahead and do the next ones. Distribute those 5 and keep going. Being the planner I am, I knew to make these discs small. That can also get the kids into trouble. All right. Now I'm done. I've distributed all of my hundreds into my groups. Now I'll move to my tens place. I have 5 there. That's perfect. That's enough for me to distribute them into my groups. 1 into each group. And last in my hundreds place, I have 6 there. I'll distribute 5, But that last one, I can't distribute it because then my groups wouldn't be even. And since I can't regroup it, there's nowhere to regroup it to. That becomes my final remainder. So when we're dividing, we're looking to see how many place value discs we've distributed into each group. I'm gonna have to write a little bit small for this. In my hundreds place, I have 8. In my tens place, I have 1 in each group. And in my ones place, I have 1 in each group with remainder of 1. I'm gonna just write that answer on top. 811, remainder 1. You can see the downsides of this. It takes a long time, we're prone to making mistakes, and it just takes a long time. Let's go into long division. When I do long division, the kids and I know we use something called the family strategy. We have dad, mom, sister, and brother. I use those to help me remember the steps in long division. So let me lay out my long division the way we always do. I have 4,056 as my whole and 5 as my divisor. We start one place value at a time. Dad divides. I use the family of the Incredibles because obviously not all our families have dads, moms, sisters, brothers. So we've been using the Incredibles. Dad's pretty big, so we start with him. Looking at my thousands place, obviously I can't divide 4 by 5. So I'm going to have to look at both place values instead. 40 divided by 5. 40 divided by 5 is 8. If kids don't know that by heart, they could skip count by 5 and see how many times it takes them to get to 40. So I've done dad divides, now I'm on to mom multiplies. 8 times my divisor, 5. 8 times 5 is 40. Sister subtracts. And now brother brings it down, brings down the next place value. So I'm at 5. Now we're back to dad divides. 5 divided by 5 is 1. Mom multiplies. 1 times 5 is 5. Sister subtracts. And brother brings it down. I have 6. Back to dad divides. 6 divided by 5 is 1. Mom multiplies. 1 times 5 is 5. Sister subtracts. And brother has nothing to bring down. We have exhausted our place values, so this is our remainder. Nice, so far so good. And last, of course, we're checking our work, teaching the kids to check by taking their quotient and their remainder. I'm sorry, just their quotient to start with. 811 times their divisor. And I can do that one in my head, one place value at a time. I've noticed a lot of the kids can too. I'm very impressed with them. 4,055 plus my remainder of 1 gives me 4,056. I got back to my whole number, so my answer is correct. So parents, I know I went through this pretty fast. I think a lot of you already have the long division pasted into your minds because that's the way we learned it for most of us adults. But dad, mom, sister, brother is my cute little addition to help the kids remember the steps. There are lots of other division strategies. These are the 2 that we've really focused on in class. You can see they both have downsides, but at least we have more strategies and not none. All right, well, good luck.